invite the vibration and peace and expansion into your life. And as you exhale, affirm, I enjoy the process of my life unfolding. Inhale again, inviting in the love, peace, and expansion. And exhale, affirming, I enjoy the process of my life unfolding. There is a beauty in the process of creation, this journey that we call life. We may not always know where we are going, but we know that we are guided, guarded, and protected along the way. I attune to nature, to beauty, to all this life has to offer. I tune in to who I really am, my authentic self. I create what I am passionate about, what makes me smile. I move in the direction of my passion. I am blessed. I find joy in my experience. I am expressive. I think about who I am, what I want to create, and I enjoy the process of my life unfolding. I feel connected to my higher self, to the universe, to the divine flow. I know that the amazing, beautiful, and inspirational energy of spirit guides me. My authentic self knows what I want to create. I do not feel overwhelmed by this. Instead, it becomes an exciting adventure in which all things are possible. I allow myself to receive from this creative life force and trust the process of my life unfolding. I know that spirit will open doors when it is time for them to be opened. I trust that I am supposed to be here. My part of discovery is divine. I rest in perfect faith and know everything always works out for the highest and best. I feel safe and optimistic. Every time I breathe in, I feel the love and expand. I open. And as I exhale, I am grounded in the knowing that life is unfolding perfectly. I enjoy the process of my life unfolding. For the next few minutes, I invite you to inhale and welcome in the love, peace, and expansion of spirit, and to exhale, affirming, I enjoy the process of my life unfolding.
Heard it all the way down to 161 and 315.
watch for signs and then just flow. Flow. While staying in the flow, start to become more aware and more alert. And when you are ready, gently open your eyes and look around. Let your heart fill with gratitude for the unfolding of your life. My name is Kristen Wilcock, and I am a religious science practitioner. It has been my pleasure to lead you in today's meditation. Namaste.
Great. I shared it on my Facebook page.
Awesome.
Yeah, I checked out ours. Gee, are they going to hear me if I talk here?
I don't know. Did the sound come out okay?
Good. And it sounds like I'm listening to it on my phone when I'm watching video. Oh, good.
Well, that's a good turnout.
Ooh, that looks like a delicious sandwich.
It is.
What'd you get? Is that chicken and sausage and egg and cheese?
No, just potato.
That looks amazing.
We're being
Sure, try
recorded,
that.
by the way. Just that why.
That's okay. It's an amazing chicken sandwich. Anna Marie McGee!
Are you pulling it over to the left side?
What do you mean?
What are you recording now?
You want to take a look?
Are we streaming the Facebook?
Yeah.
Be careful.
Right. Right now, the frame is the two inner columns.
Open up your car doors.
Open up and be yourself. Open up and free yourself and shine that light. Speak your mind. Show 'em who you really are. Show 'em your shining star, a brilliant light. The wait was long, but now we're lighting up so bright. Our open hearts show the love we feel inside, and this happiness we share with you. Open up and be yourself. Open up and free yourself and shine that light. The wait was long, but now we're lighting up so bright. Our open hearts show the love we feel inside, and this happiness we share with you. Open up and be yourself. Open up and free yourself and shine that light. Open up and be yourself and shine that light. Open up and free yourself and shine that light.
And we all know this one. I know you're in your cars. We can't really hear you, but I want to feel you sing along.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna
announcements. Welcome to the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Kristen Piers, and I am a practitioner here. That's right, Carla. The announcements are the best part. Please join us for our Community Wednesday Connections from 7 to 8 p.m. See your CCSL Weekly Word e-newsletter for the Zoom sign-in or call the CCSL office. You can also find the Zoom sign-in on our Facebook page. And with these weekly connections, we are continuing our 40-day prosperity challenge. So you get to up your consciousness about prosperity just by showing up on Wednesdays. Isn't that cool? All right. Would you like to have some fun and feel more connected with your CCSL community? That's right, yes. The answer is always yes. Join us for our next virtual choir project. All you need is a smartphone and a willingness to sing. We will take care of the technical stuff. Everyone is welcome to participate, whether you are in the choir or not. The music team is looking forward to co-creating something special with you. Contact Carissa at carissacreates.com. That is Carissa with a C. So let us know if you're in. Thanks to everyone that joined in for our monthly Open Hearts Open Mic event this past Friday. We had a lot of fun. If you haven't checked that out yet, it is an opportunity for fun and community. There is learning, there is dancing, there are games. It's pretty neat. So if you'd like to perform at the next event on October 9th, please contact the wonderful Jim Hetzer at JAHETZER@sbcglobal.net. Join Reverend Gregory Toole for his upcoming workshop, Sharpening the Saw on Communication. Who doesn't need better communication skills? Taking conscious communication to the next level. This workshop will be via Zoom and will take place on Sunday, September 20th from 12 to 2. Your love offering is appreciated, and watch for the more information about that with the link in the CCSL Weekly Word newsletter. Thank you for participating today in our non-perishable food drive to benefit Mid-Ohio Food Bank. Your donations are greatly appreciated, and be sure to drop your donations off in the boxes provided as you leave the service this morning. And if you forgot to bring things, that's okay. We'll still let you leave. If you would like prayer after service or any time throughout the week, you can find our prayer practitioners on our website, columbuscsl.org, or you can submit a prayer request on our website, or really, I bet you could catch one of us after service if you would like prayer. That is all the news for today. Let's sing our opening song.
Everybody, get up on your feet. See the
service. We are so glad you're here. And Sarah, I have never seen you look so tall as you're standing through your sunroof. So here at Columbus Center for Spiritual Living, we are an inclusive organization. And no matter where you are on your spiritual journey, on your life journey, you are welcome here no matter what. Thank you for joining us this morning. If you're here socially distanced, if you are here in your cars, I see some people out in their chairs, or if you are joining us this morning, we are actually streaming live to Facebook. We will also post a copy of the service this morning onto our YouTube channel. So, for those of you who know our mission statement, say our mission statement with us. And for those of you who might not have it at the top of your mind, I would invite you to feel it into your heart, because this is who we are in the world. We serve the transformation of individual lives through education, spiritual practice, and deep community, using spirit and science of mind principles as our compass. I'd like to thank practitioner, soon to be installed practitioner, Kristen Wilcock, for her meditation today. And also she is holding a virtual high watch for our service today. That is just a service that we do to help us all deepen into ourselves and receive the music and the message and the blessings of service. Now I would like to reintroduce practitioner Kristen Piers, who will be assisting me today. Kristen?
Oh, logistics, so fun. Okay, and now we begin our sacred service. I would like to introduce our community member, Matt Vidal, who will be giving us the reading this morning. Matt?
A reading from C. Joybell C. I have come to accept the feeling of not knowing where I am going, and I have trained myself to love it, because it is only when we are suspended in midair with no landing in sight that we force our wings to unravel and, alas, begin our flight. And as we fly, we still may not know where we are going to, but the miracle is in the unfolding of the wings. You may not know where you're going, but you know that so long as you spread your wings, the winds will carry you.
Now let the music take us within.
May your days be bright. May your heart be light. May your every moment be filled with delight. May you be blessed. May you be blessed. May the ever shining light your way.
I feel blessed. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful to be here right now in physical community. I am grateful knowing that all there is God. There is no separation from God. God is all faces, all words. God is all feelings, and I am a part of that. And each person here and everywhere is a part of that one that we call God. I am so grateful to be a part of it. And as we are moving into service today, where there are words, there's a message, there is celebration, there is introspection, I say yes, yes, and more yes. It is all perfect, all one. I and each person here is a part of that one. Yes, I am grateful. I lift it up. I let it go, and so it is. May you be blessed. 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 May you be I've been waiting for my day to come. And I've been praying for freedom. I can't remember who came and stole me from myself, but all I know is that all of my life I've been being somebody else. Once were bars and guards to this prison cell. Now there's only thoughts and memories. I'm the only one left who's been holding me down, and I'm the only one who can set me free. I've been hiding myself from the light, and I've been denying that I deserve a better life. I can't remember how to keep the promises I made to myself. So I wait and wish like a helpless child, believing I'll be rescued by somebody else. But once were bars and guards to this prison cell, and now it's only my condition. I'm the only
day to come. No more waiting. I'm taking my freedom.
Thank you, Jesse Powers. Yes, let's take our freedom. Okay, so good morning. My name is Reverend Amy Papadoupoulos, and it is my honor to be the minister here this morning. We have a very exciting ritual in keeping in alignment or keeping with the theme of Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. We often do rituals. And so keeping with this theme, we have a ritual this morning, which is the installation of our 3 brand new practitioners. So I would like to invite Tammy and Anne and Kristen up to the front, please. I would also like to invite our current practitioner, Kristen and Margie, to come to the front, please. So Kristen. Dearest Kristen, and Anne, and Tammy, I am so delighted to welcome you today to the core of professional practitioners at the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. We have come to know each other well during these last few years and classes, and more classes, and more classes. And what I absolutely know is that each one of you has done that deep-hearted, clear-headedness work that needs to be done, and you have all done it very, very well. It has been a great adventure to take with the 3 of you. I learned right along with you, and I grew right along with you. And what a wonderful way to continue our practice of ritual here at CCSL by having your installation during our first ever parking lot service through the Corona pandemic. I would also like to thank professional practitioner Kristen Pierce for being here present this morning. Thank you. And professional practitioner Margie Sammons for being here this morning. Thank you. Okay. Kristen, Anne, Tammy, you have chosen a pathway in life that is and ever shall be rich in interest and filled with beautiful spiritual discoveries. To serve as a professional practitioner is to lead those who look to you for spiritual guidance, into study in order that you may expand the consciousness of your professional practice. So, if you are willing to continue to expand your consciousness by your own professional practice, please say, I do. Do you dedicate yourselves to your utmost to reflect at all times the truth of Spirit? As loyal, supportive members of the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living, will you uphold and support this center and the Centers for Spiritual Living through spiritual mind treatment? And if so, say I do. Now, These vows of dedication, which you have assumed, are only the outward expression of the inner dedication and consecration to the indwelling presence which you have already made. Through this act, you place yourselves in a very special relationship to God and to all other people in humanity. Your mission is to recognize the deep and abiding harmony at the center of everything, and to see through the existing circumstances and to affirm the truth that sets each person free. And the fulfillment of your mission, you have the same assurance expressed by the great master teacher Jesus. It is the Spirit within that does the work. So here is your blessing. The infinite Spirit, which empowers you to do all things, also grants you the strength and the wisdom to faithfully serve these vows. So by the authority invested in me as a minister of Centers for Spiritual Living, I celebrate and confirm your dedication as licensed professional practitioners of the Centers for Spiritual Living. So now it is my privilege to present each of you with this stole as a symbol of beauty and perfection of your chosen work.
Yes.
Beloved community, we present to you Tammy, Kristen, and Ann, your new and expanded practitioner corps. Thank you. What a great way to kick off, gosh, being back together for the first time in community since we've been in this pandemic. I don't know about you guys, but it kind of gives me some hope. Goodness. So today, the theme for our talk today and through all of the Centers for Spiritual Living, the theme is skepticism, doubt, and faith. And I just want to share that a healthy dose of questioning is a good tool to develop an understanding of what we believe and know. We know a belief is just a thought that just gets thought over and over, and sometimes we come to believe it. You know, I'm just going to pause there because I have to tell you. When I was up here before giving the introduction, I'm looking out to these cars, and I can't help but to think of the movie Cars, where all of the cars come to life and they take on the personality of the owners. I'm just like, oh, they're gonna come to life. It made me laugh. Thank you, Jesse, I heard you laughing with me. So what a perfect theme for today: skepticism, doubt, and faith. And I have to tell you, when I heard this week, the beginning of the week, I was talking to somebody who was on the planning committee of this service, that we had a 100% chance of rain. 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and then maybe like noon, it started to be at 80%, and I thought, really, God? It hasn't rained all summer long. We have been dry, and now it's gonna rain on the Sunday morning that we're doing our parking lot service. And then the theme is skepticism. I was skeptical that we could pull this off. I had doubt that we were going to be dry. I had doubt that anybody was going to show up because it was going to rain. And then had those doubts for a while, but then they moved into faith. It's kind of like the story of the man who was on his roof doing some roofing work. And so he's up there with his hammers and his tools, and it was a very steep roof. And all of a sudden, he feels himself starting to slide. And he's like, oh my gosh. So he tries to go to grab onto something, and there's nothing to grab onto. And he says, oh God, please help me. And he's falling and is falling, and then a nail catches on his pants. And he stops him, and he comes back up on the roof, and he's like, never mind, God, I got it. I think it's kind of similar to our parking lot service today. When I was thinking about the rain, I was thinking about how could I incorporate rain into our service today of skepticism, doubt, and faith. So I went to the Metaphysical Bible that was written by Charles Fillmore, who he and his wife started Unity. And I loved this. He says the rain, the metaphysical interpretation of the rain is an outpouring of spirit that constantly refreshes and enriches man's developing thought. The rain is the descent of potential ideas into substance. It's the rain that waters the earth, and the rain represents the love of God. The love of God that comes into the mind when it is summoned and when it is needed. So the rain replenishes the earth. The rain is the love of God. The rain that constantly refreshes and enriches man. So what if this rain this morning was just an opportunity to practice what Mark Twain said? We can't change what we see. We can just we can't change what we see. We can just change how we see it. So if we can change how we see things, we have a different experience and we move into faith. I also thought about a rainbow. I was thinking, I wonder if we'll see a rainbow today. We all may remember the story of Noah in the Old Testament when he went into the ark and God sent a rainbow as a covenant to Noah to promise, right, that God would never flood the earth. That's the story in the Old Testament. The metaphysical interpretation of a rainbow is it is a token of a covenant between me and the earth. That's what God said in Genesis. But it involves the law of obedience. And Noah represented the law of obedience because he did what God told him to do. And the rainbow is formed, think about this. A rainbow is formed with many drops of water, each of which act as a prism to receive and transmit the sunlight. And in a rainbow, each drop of water, according to Charles Fillmore, represents a human being. And the rainbow represents the whole race. When man, like Noah, Charles Fillmore tells us, is obedient to the guidance of God, he will never be flooded by negative conditions. And when the whole race enters into this obedience, the perfect principles will be forever established. The rainbow is a sign of the state in which we all shall form with our obedient minds, a circle of natural perfection. So I'm thinking about this. I wanted to talk about it a little bit more, about the rain being God's love. And then going back to this idea that I had, this idea this week of, why is it raining this morning? It didn't rain all summer. why is it raining this morning? And then it dawned on me, of course a meteorologist can tell us why. I don't know why, but I know I could find the information on the internet. But this morning, I'm suggesting that why is not the right question to ask. Because why is like a dog chasing its tail. We don't know the reasons why things happen. But rather, how can we use this information to deepen our spirituality? I've been on a quest to grow my God, to live as a spiritual being no matter what. And the rain this morning gave me that opportunity to change the way I see it. And I'm looking out here now, and it's dry. And you know what? Even if it was raining, it would be okay. Because rain is an outpouring of spirit that constantly refreshes and enriches man's developing thoughts. So I also talked about a healthy dose of questioning. Questioning. And why, not being the question to ask, but rather how can this help me? How can this serve me? How does this serve me to live as a spiritual being? When we think we know it all, or we're not willing to question what we believe, or we're not willing to ask what it means when someone feels their prayers have not been answered, we're no longer in alignment with being open at the top. So, questioning. Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind writes, "There is no room for doubt in treatment. Realize that you treat with your understanding through the law, and meditate upon the spiritual significance of the statement you make until you induce within consciousness a definite concept of an already established fact, and even though the fact may not have become objectified." So what I really want to share, I want to kind of move this from that doubt and the skepticism into this idea of faith. This idea of faith, I remember, probably 10 years ago, I started thinking, what is faith? I have faith, but in what? When I was first learning the Science of Mind in the late 1990s and early 2000s in Charlotte, I was going through, then I moved to Las Vegas, and I continued my my study of Science of Mind, and I was going through practitioner training. What I learned, I think, and maybe that was just kind of the way they taught Science of Mind back then, was to pray, put it into the law, and know that it's going to be there. And what we used to say, for those of you who've been around Science of Mind for a while, if something doesn't manifest, we used to say, and this is terrible, like, what is in your consciousness? Which is such a way, I just saw Carla's face, she went, ooh, yeah, it's like it's a shaming thing, you know, so, and it was hurtful. And I remember for me, when I was in practitioner training, my husband and I were trying to have a baby, and we weren't getting pregnant, and I remember thinking to myself, what is in my consciousness? What is in your consciousness? And I worked with my teacher, and eventually realized that we did in vitro to get her. So I found, and you guys might have heard the story before, but I found God in the medicine as well. God brought that to me as a way to have a child. What I've really come to learn, and this goes right along with faith, this is what helped me to grow my God, to put down, as the great mystic Kristen Pierce says, put down the big stick, and to not have the reaction that Carla did of, oh, is the difference between deism and panentheism. Gosh, you know, I'm a school teacher, and I so want to say after me, deism. Say after me, panentheism. Deism is the idea, and it is taught in some Science of Mind centers, probably less so now than it has been 20 years ago, but it's still taught in some centers. It's the idea, deism, from the word deity, God. It's the idea that God created everything. We're good, right? We're good on that. God is everywhere and everything. But yet the idea of deism is that God leaves its creation and observes, and there's no interaction between God and its creation except through the law. So that's called deism. And I think for me, that's why it was really hard for me when I wasn't getting pregnant, because I was thinking, what's in my consciousness? But what I have come to learn, what's different about me today, after going through ministerial school, and I've been continuing to study with one of my teachers, I really got the idea of panentheism. And this is what I want you all to leave with today, is an intellectual understanding and a heartfelt connection with the idea of panentheism, because I know for me, it grew my God. It stepped me into faith. And it allowed me to step into that place of having the faith of God and in God. And the idea of panentheism says, God created everything, which is what we know. God created everything, and yet God is beyond that. It is this and that. It is almost like a paradox. It is this and that. So when we set our intention, when we do our spiritual treatments, what I have come, my growing edge, I was going to say what I've come to learn and trust, and I'm growing into that, is that when I do my treatments and I think of this panentheism, I know that God is there, and yet more, and yet something that is infinite, that my finite brain and heart and being just can't even imagine. And I think that's for me where that faith comes in. This or something better. Do my treatments and say this or something better. Do my prayers and say, guide, guard, and direct me. Guide me. And what is something that I can't even see? Guard me from having skepticism and doubt and forgetting. And direct me to what it is that I can't even see. And the reason I can step into that place of what I can't even see is because I know, like I know, that there is a goodness to this thing we call God. For God is, I believe it in my heart, I know it, that God is good, and that is life affirming. It may show up in ways that I don't know. It may show up in ways that I don't understand, but I don't have to understand. Why did my husband die? I don't know. Why did my brother die? I don't know. Why is this pandemic here? There's so many things. I could go through the litany. I don't know. But I tell you, what I know is that God is good all the time. God is good all the time. And I'm thinking about the rain, and I'm thinking about the opportunity to look at the metaphysical meaning as the rain being the love of God. And this idea of faith, I have to tell you, being with all of you today, being socially distanced and in person, my heart is full. My heart is just, I'm happier than I even thought I was going to be. I knew it was going to be fun. But it's so fun to see people I haven't seen, to install the practitioners, to be able to be part of this spiritual center, because I really do believe we are here to live spiritual lives. And this is the place I get to practice that. And you are the people I get to practice it with. This must be what God feels like when he thinks about us. It thinks about us. This must be what God feels like when we recognize it in us. It gets excited and it gets happy. So let's live from this place of faith, knowing that God is good all the time, everywhere, in the rain, in the rainbows, in the sunshine. And yep, I'm going to go there in the election. So, faith. Faith in what? Ask yourself, maybe this week, have faith. Faith in what? Can you answer that question? You can always call one of the practitioners or me, have a conversation about faith. And I do want to talk about the election, which is very different than talking about politics. Because as a minister, I'm not allowed to talk about politics. But I am allowed to talk about the election. It is 51 days away. It is on November 3rd. And there's been some talk on our minister's listserv about the election coming up. And Kathy Ann Lewis from Washington, I believe, she posted this, and it's from Joel Goldsmith. Joel Goldsmith says to us, he's a mystic, he says, every 4 years, as the attention of the United States is focused upon the selection of the President and the Vice President of the United States, Infinite Way students, which were the people that studied with Joel Goldsmith, Infinite Way students, or people, us, are reminded of how important it is to realize that the government is on his shoulders, meaning God. Those who know this truth can play a significant role in bringing to pass God's government on earth as it is in heaven. An election, Joel Goldsmith goes on, is an opportunity for citizens to exercise the franchise and to vote for the candidate of their choice, to vote intellectually, and to fulfill his responsibilities as a citizen. He tells us every voter should be thoroughly familiar with the issues. I know how each candidate stands on these issues, not only in terms of what they say, but in terms of their record. It is the responsibility of an informed citizenry, and we should fall into this category. Over and above that, and even more important, is the meditation and spiritual work in which each of us can engage to that end. That citizens are not swayed by the carnal mind, and that a highly charged promotional activities characteristic of a typical presidential campaign. I'm gonna read that last part again. It's my favorite part. Meditation and spiritual work are the way we can engage in this election coming up. For us to not be citizens who are swayed by the carnal mind that is highly charged by the emotional promotion and activities characteristic of our typical presidential campaign. So I encourage everyone to think about faith, to think about skepticism and doubt, especially in this time of the pandemic, to do the spiritual practice and to know that there is no spot where God is not, including the election and including all of the politicians, all of them. It's all God. Can't be anything else. I'm glad you are here today. I encourage you all to get out and vote, to vote early, to vote with your absentee ballot, and as people of faith, because that is who we are. As people of faith, not only vote in a conscious way, but live your life in this pandemic and show up as the spiritual beings that you are. I know for us, good, and more good. And I know for the election, good, and more good. So join with me as I close us in prayer. Just taking a moment to turn within, to listening to the sounds around me, feeling my body, becoming aware of that presence that is buzzing within me. That is God, and that is good. For God is everywhere, all the time, and yet beyond. And what I know for each and every person here this morning in our special service, I know for each and every one of us that we turn away from skepticism and doubt. We turn away from anything that looks like fear or lack or limitation, whether it be in our center, in our lives, in our finances, in our government, in the election, in jobs, whatever it is, I turn away from that lack and that fear and that skepticism and doubt, and I turn towards faith. Like turning my face to the light of the sun. I know that there is a presence that is omniscient, that is guiding, guarding, and directing each and every one of us. That is guiding, guarding, and directing me to come out of this pandemic better, greater, more expanded. To come away from this service fulfilled, uplifted, inspired, and with a God that has grown. And I speak a word of blessing for our 3 new practitioners, for Tammy and Ann and Kristen. I speak a special word of blessing, knowing that they are doing great things in the world, that they help to bring heaven on earth because they have said yes to this very sacred calling, and that the world is a bit of a better place because they exist. And in fact, the world is a better place because we are awake. And I say yes to being awake to our spiritual magnificent right now. I say yes to stepping out into faith, and like Matt read, letting those wings unfold as we take faith. We step out on faith and we do what is ours to do boldly and bigly, and in a way that we can say, yes, I am satisfied, I am fulfilled, this is my purpose, this is my life, this is my time, and it is good. So I release this treatment into that law that always says yes on behalf of each and every person here. I claim it, I know it, I ground it, I accept it, and I know it is so. So please join with me in saying, and so it is.
matter what they look like. Doesn't matter what their name. Doesn't matter where they come from, or if they've been unjustly blamed. It doesn't matter how they're different. Doesn't matter how they pray. The only thing that really matters is that you love them anyway. Love them anyway, each and every day. No matter what they say, love them anyway. Love them anyway, each and every day. No matter what they say, love them anyway. Love them any way that you can, and you will discover. Love them any way that you can, you'll find it's true. There is something deep within you'll uncover, and the thing within is always loving you. Doesn't matter how they're different. Doesn't matter how they pray. The only thing that really matters is that you love them anyway. It doesn't matter if they're many, or if they're standing all alone. It doesn't matter their advancement, or if their tools are made of stone. It doesn't matter if they're richer. It doesn't matter if they're not. It doesn't matter if their homeland is freezing cold or blazing hot. Love them anyway, each and every day. No matter what they say, love them anyway. Love them anyway, each and every day. No matter what they say, love them anyway. Love them any way that you can, you'll discover. Love them any way that you can, you'll find it's true. There is something deep within that you'll uncover, and the thing within is always loving you. It doesn't matter how they're different. Doesn't matter how they pray. The only thing that really matters is that you love them anyway. The only thing that really matters is that you love them anyway.
Thank you, Ralph. So now is the time for the giving of our gifts. Thank you for all of the ways that you have continued to support the center during these times. And we are honored to be able to support you spiritually. We appreciate the gifts, the donations, and the tithes that you give to CCSL. And your donations are important because we still have rent to pay and bills to pay. And also it helps us to fulfill our mission of creating a world that works for everyone. So we know that God is our source, and we know that we are circulating Spirit's energy in the form of money as we give and we receive. If you'd like to give your offering today in person, there is a round purple box that Wayne has. Thank you, Wayne. You may place your offering in the round purple box located right over here in front of Wayne. You can also text to give. This is a great way to give to our centers. It is 614-681-8616. So you can text to give that way, and you can also mail your offering to the office, and you can also donate on our website. So please take your offering or your hand that writes the offering or punches the button for the offering, whatever it is for you, and place it over your heart. And you're invited to say our affirmation with me. My gift goes forth to heal and bless and prosper. It does its good and perfect work. and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
When I open up the channel to receive, when I open up my heart and just believe, when I know I am infinity, when I open up my soul and see, I can feel it, I can feel it, circulation, when I open up a channel to receive, when I open up my heart and just believe, when I know I am infinity, when I open up my soul and see, I can feel it, can you feel it, circulation. Circulation. I am so grateful here today for the giving of these gifts, the financial gifts, the energy gifts, the presence, the gift of presence. I am grateful to participate in this circulation in all ways, because God is all of it, and I am all of it, and each person here is all of it. Yes, yes, and thank you. And so it is.
So let's thank our singers, Jesse Powers, Ralph Leesburg, Carissa Holmes, Wayne Carter, and our band, Tony Bernardi on keyboard, Joe Nelson on drums, Steve Baracus on bass. And I'd also like to thank the parking lot service team and all of the volunteers that came out today, for everyone who made this possible. And I'd also like to thank every one of you for coming out to our very first parking lot service. It was a very big success. I'd also like to acknowledge our 3 brand new Columbus Center for Spiritual Living practitioners.
And a big old thanks to Joel for dragging all this stuff.
Yes. And for being the earliest person here today. Thank you. I know you were here at the crack of dawn. Ooh, 7 o'clock. Thank you, Joel. If you are here for the very first time. No, I was thinking about hogging the horn, but I think that would scare the bejesus out of me. If I ever had it in me. Put your emergency flashes on. If you are here for the first time. If you are watching us online and you are joining us for the very first time, you can call the office or send us a message and we will get a package of information out to you, who we are and what religious science is. Now, we all know the blessing. So please say our blessing with me. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. And so it is. Perfect timing on the train.
All right. Sun is out. So remember who we are. We are the light. We are the light. We are the light of the world. We are the light. We are the light. We are the light of the world. We are the light. We are the light. We are the light of the world. We are the light. We are the light. We are the light of the world. I trust in thee. I trust in you to shine. We are the light. We are the light. We are the light of the world. We are the light. We are the light. We are the light of the world. We are the light. We are the light of the world. We are the light. We are the light. We are the light of the world. I trust in thee, and I trust in you to shine. We are the light. We are the light. We are the light of the world. We are the light. We are the light. We are the light of the world. We are the light. We are the light. We are the light of the world. We are the light. We are the light. We are the light of the world. Pick it up and
Peace and blessings. Have a beautiful week, and please do wait for guidance in pulling out. We'll help you get out of the parking lot without incident. Blessings.
Thank you, Carissa.
Here's some more music and mean that.
Yeah.